Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. From Palestinian schools in Qatar, today I'll be explaining period number 4 from the unit 7, the food on your table. It's our grammar lesson which is about future perfect tense. Like other languages, in English also we have tenses, which tells us about the period of the time which we are talking about. As the name suggests, future perfect tense. It is all about in future, but it will be a perfect action. Future perfect action. Let's begin. When do we use future perfect tense? When we expect that something will be done before a certain period of time. When we expect, it means when we think, when we predict that something will be done, something will be finished before a certain period of time. For example, by 2024, Corona pandemic will have finished. Maybe. This is my assumption. This is my opinion. See, this old man, he will have retired by the time he is 60. Right now he is not 60. So by the time he is 60, he will have retired. Same here, Mrs. Catherine. I will have finished work at 6 o'clock. It is 4 o'clock now. After 2 o'clock, she thinks that she will have finished work by then. So, a completed action in the future. A completed action in the future. Yes, dear students, until now I have given you the preview of this tense, which is future perfect tense. The rule of this tense is very easy. We have future as the name suggests, so we are going to use will. But when we have perfect, it means the helping verb for perfect, as we have learned in our previous lessons. The helping verb for perfect are has and have with the past participle. So future perfect tense is will have plus past participle. And what does it talk about? It talks about any action which we think will have been completed in future. For example, right now we are in grade 11. I think by 2026 graduate. What do you think? By 2026 all of us will have graduated from Qatar University or from Istanbul University, from any university which you feel like doing it. So how will I use it? By 2026 I will have graduated. Why will have? Because the helping verb for future perfect tense is has or have. But with will, we do not use has, so we will use only will have graduated. The past participle of our verb graduate will be graduated from Qatar University. This is our future perfect tense. Here I give you another example. Here I told you about the rule for the positive. In negative we use not. And in interrogative, which means questions, we bring will in the start. For example, he will have done it by this evening. Positive. Negative, he will not have done it by this evening. And the interrogative or the question will be, will he have done it by this evening? So It's a question. We call it interrogative. INTERROGATIVE. Interrogative questions. When do we use it? We use it to talk about an action that will finish before a certain time in the future. For example, by 8 o'clock tomorrow, I will have taken off for Japan. See, it's not 8 o'clock now, it is tomorrow. By 8 o'clock tomorrow, I will have taken off for Japan. Like I gave you an example in my previous slide. By 2026, I will have graduated from Qatar University. It is also used to talk about an action that will be completed before another event takes place. She will have learned Chinese. Future perfect. She will have learned Chinese. Where is the other action? This is the other action. Before she moves to China. I will have graduated from Qatar University before I move to Germany. See? So I will have finished my graduation before I move to Germany. My parents will have given me $5,000 before I move to Canada. So before an action in the future. Let's continue. Now look at the examples, then complete the grammar rules. Now we are in the book. By next year, our restaurants will have been in business for 20 years. See, by next year. Dear students, when we use by, it means before or until next year, not after that. Okay? By next year, our restaurant, we are now here in the present. Our restaurant started working in the past. So it has already been done 19 years until now. And by next year, by 2022, we assume that our restaurants will have been in business for 20 years. See? Will have been. Same here. It is we are now here. Finish the work at this time and 10 a.m. tomorrow. So you are going to finish the work before 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, before this time. So I will have finished the work by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. I will have finished the work by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Just you have to memorize the rule for future perfect tense. Very simple and easy, dear students. For future we use will, and for the perfect action we use has or have. Since we are using will, we can't use has, so we will use only will, have, and then past participle. Very simple and easy. Now look at the grammar rules and complete the blanks down here. Yes, dear students, let's continue with the grammar rules. Number 1. We use dash plus the past participle to make the future perfect tense. What is the rule? We use dash. Look at the sentence here. We use will, have, been. So been is our past participle. So what do we use? Yes, exactly. It is will and have. Same here. I will have finished. Finished is our past participle. What else did we use? Will plus have. Correct. This tense is used to talk about actions that will be completed before a certain time in the future, before 10 a.m. morning, before next year. The time phrase can come either space or space the main clause. So the time phrase. Now here, look at the example number 1. By next year, this is our time phrase. And this is our main clause. Our restaurants will have been in business for 20 years. This is coming in the start, which is before the main clause. And look at this one. I'll have finished the work by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Here it's not coming in the start. Here it is coming after the main clause. So this by time phrase can come before or after the main clause. In example 1, it is before. And in example 2, it is after. Good. We use the preposition dash with definite times, meaning at or before this time. I told you this thing in my previous slide, that we use this preposition, which is by, which means that it is at or before this time, not later than this time. By 2026, I will have graduated. I will have graduated by 2026. So you have to be very, very careful. Now, very simple, very easy. See, look at the question. Complete the sentences using future perfect tense of the verbs in the box. For example, you are taking this question in your exam. You saw the title, Future Perfect Tense. I recommend and I advise my student, whenever you see a tense, next to it right away, write the rule for this tense so that you will not forget the correct use of this grammar. So what is the rule for future perfect tense? Subject plus will have past participle plus object. So here we will use these verbs in the box. They will be converted into past participle, and you just have to add will have written, will have finished, will have repaired, will have saved, and will have been. Pause the video here, write your answers, and then check them with mark. Fine? Number 1. By next year, they will have been married. See? Will have past participle of be. I can't go out at 7:30 because I won't have finished my work by then. I won't have finished. We have to make the negative, because we are still going to work on that time. It means that you may go for the negative ones if the work is not going to be finished before that time. If he keeps going at this speed, he will have written. If he keeps going at this speed, he will have written 20 pages today. Number 4. I won't be able to go on holiday this summer because, see, I won't be able. And the verb we have, save. It means negative. You won't be able to go on a holiday this summer because I won't have saved enough money. So you will make the negative, because if you will have saved, it means you can go on holiday. Since you are not able to go on holiday, that means you haven't saved enough money. So you have to be very, very clear. You can collect the computer on Tuesday. You can collect the computer on Tuesday. It means it will be ready on Tuesday. We will have repaired it by then. So Today our lesson was about future perfect tense, which is used for the action which will be completed before a time in future. The rule is very simple. Will have past participle. Will not have past participle. See? For negative. So it's a very easy lesson. Just you have to remember the rule and the use of future perfect tense. I hope you understood today's lesson. Now, let's continue to this one. Circle the correct options to complete the sentences. I don't think, yes, pause the video here and then answer with me. Let's continue. I don't think I'll have finished this report in time for the meeting. Number two, scientists think that in 10 years' time, nearly everyone will have used or will be using. In 10 years' time, will be using. We took this lesson earlier. By the end of the journey, they will have driven. If we get there too early, they won't have woken up by then. Don't call me on my mobile. I'll be driving. Not yet finished. It means I'll be driving. This was the end of our lesson. I hope you understood today's lesson. See, for the actions which will have finished, we will use future perfect tense. But for the actions which will be continued, we will be using future continuous tense. You have to be very, very careful between these two sentences. One is continuous and the other one is completed, done completely. Thank you very much. This is me, teacher.